Coach, while the results were not what you were looking for against top-ranked Louisville, your lineup fared better against the Cardinals last weekend. Can you talk a little bit about the progress of the team is making from an offensive standpoint?
Yeah, this time of year historically is always tough on us because you go, basically 4 straight weeks of only facing, and especially the first 2 weekends in the ACC, but facing weekend starters, frontline arms. And you look at the last 6 games, the 3 at Florida State and the 3 at Louisville, and the quality of arms that we faced. The opposing batting average against, if you put those 6 guys together, is like 130 or something like that. And, McKay's got gives up less than a half a run a game, and McClure's an All-American as well. And so that's always a tough stretch for us offensively. And you also don't have the midweek at-bats to kind of keep your rhythm and keep your timing. So we know that, and it's something that you work through and you grind through. And it's also why we always historically, once we get home and start getting those midweek games and getting into better rhythm, literally and offensively, things start to heat up around here, right? So, but we did see some really good things offensively, and I think one of the really bright spots, even though the numbers didn't show, but and he was sick going on the weekend, so he missed Friday night, but Gian's at-bats were great. Gian's hit the ball hard all weekend. So I think he's right on the verge of really starting to do something special offensively.
Jacob Stevens has given you quality starts every Friday this season, and Dan Metzdorf is coming along as a good Sunday starter. Can you talk about your pitch rotation, especially from those two sophomores?
Yeah, both those guys are great. Bear, we saw what he did last year, and we're just sort of used to him doing that, right? It's kind of ho-hum. Bear goes out and gives you a great start, and 6 innings, 7 innings, give you a chance to win the game, which is awesome. He couldn't ask for anything more on Friday night. And he matched up with a kid who's got a chance to be the first pick in the draft, and we had a chance to win that game. That's all you can ask for. And Metz is, as he's getting more comfortable in the starting role, it's a new role for him. He is going back and forth between giving us a chance to win and dominant, right? And even against Florida State, there were 2 innings that he absolutely dominated that lineup. And then things got away from him a little bit. He tried to get a little fine and started picking a little bit. And then this week against Louisville, he was great. And he was at 93, I think it was. He wanted another inning. I thought he was done. But he threw the ball great. So, we love that combination. We're actually going to slide Brian Rapp into that other starting role this week, and he's been throwing the ball great. He was very, very good out of the pen against Louisville, and I believe Matt Gill is going to be special. We all do, but it's a lot. It's a lot for a freshman to start in the ACC, and I think it'll be good for him to be able to step back, get back to work a little bit, get some extra side sessions, and then we're going to see some really, really good things out of him throughout his career.
The team has been plagued with injuries in this first month. How has that affected lineups, rotations, and ultimately some of the results?
Well, yeah, injuries are part of the game, and the combination of injuries and this flu bug that's been running through our lineup the last couple weeks has been a little bit crazy. But the thing about injuries is, how do you deal with it? We know it's coming at some point, and how do you deal with it, and how do you look at it, right? We look at it as opportunities. You go back to last season. Donovan Casey hurts his hand. If Dono never hurts his hand, Scotty Byrne never gets his shot. And Scotty Byrne turned into last year an offensive force and was a middle-of-the-order bat for us this year. Well, this year Scotty gets hurt, and Jake Lou goes in, and Jake Lou's doing a great job. So you never want to see a kid injured. And it has been a tough stretch injury-wise on us this year. It's a pretty big number that we're out, but that's our job, is to figure out who the next guy is that's going to come up and get the opportunity. And we got a really good example down the road in Foxborough. Pat's talk about next man up, so we can kind of steal something from them. And it's our job as a staff, when we are injured, to figure out, what are we going to do with the lineup? What are we going to do with the staff to put us in position to give us the best chance to win the game, right? And then if you get a hit, you win the game. If you make the pitch, you win the game. If they get the hit, they win the game. That's kind of what you're hoping for. So, you hate to see all the guys going down, and the number on the DL right now is pretty high, but that's just part of the game. It's part of something you have to deal with.
Lastly, this weekend you'll host 7th-ranked Clemson at Rhode Island. It'll be the third top 10 team you face in 3 weekends. What are the rigors of playing the ACC, and what can we expect from the BC Clemson series? And will playing a home series not at home have any effect on the team?
There's a couple things there. There's we played Florida State. They were number one in some polls. Played Louisville. They're number one in some polls. And then now you got Clemson. So you have 2 number 1 teams and a 7 team, or 3 top 10 teams, however you want to say it. That's what makes this conference so awesome. That's what makes this schedule so awesome. That's why we get excited every year when the schedule comes out. And there's nobody else in the Northeast that gets to play in a conference like this. So it's not something that you sit around and complain about. It's why you came here. It's why we wanted to coach here. It's why the boys wanted to play here. You get a chance, beating top 10 teams every weekend, right? So we're excited about that. What can we expect? Well, I think we know the boys are going to play hard. We're going to go after Clemson. I know we'll play better defense than we've been playing. I know the pitchers will do a great job attacking hitters. I think you're going to see 3 really good, hard, clean baseball games. The boys are excited to get home. And as far as not playing at home, we talk about all the time, take disadvantages and make them advantages. So, we're going to go down there and treat it as if it is our home park. And, it's not our home park, but we've played there more than Clemson has, right? We play URI every year. So the boys are familiar with it. It's a familiar setting. It looks like it's going to be a little bit cold and windy down there, so it'll feel like home for us. And I think it'll be a fun series. And I have a lot of respect for the program down there. And Monty Lee is doing a great job. So those boys down there will be ready to play. The Clemson boys will be ready to play.